Hey guys, it's good to be back. How are you enjoying your Christmas? First of all, let me say a huge Merry Christmas to you all and a Happy New Year in advance. So, on today's episode, I will not be giving the tips, but I have my beautiful, amazing sister and friend who has been a single mother for over a decade now, and she's a single mother of two lovely teenagers. So, guys, let's get tipsy.
Hi there, my name is Elizabeth Adekite Olulari, and it is my pleasure to give some inputs for my amazing friend, sister, and colleague, Pat, on her podcast or her YouTube channel. So, the question I have been asked to speak into is, what are some tips I've picked up about being a single mom? So, just to put things into perspective, I am of dual nationality, British Nigerian. I live, I live across two continents, Nigeria and in the UK, and I have a privilege of being a single mom to two amazing young ladies. I've been a single mom for over a decade, and these are just a few of my reflections as I'm migrating and evolving from being a single mom into a partnered relationship where we are blended family, um, parenting two beautiful young children, and as God will bless us, would have more children. So, okay, so a little bit of context would help. Um, in understanding how I became a single mom. So I was living with the girl's dad, we were married, um, and life happens. That's all I can say. So let's fast forward to the point where I am a single mom with two toddlers. So my eldest then must have been maybe two, and my younger was maybe 6 months because it's less than, it's about 18 months or so difference between both of them. So the first thing I did as a single mom was to kick them out of my room. Yes. Kick them out of my room. Let me explain. Prior to that, the girls, we had different parenting ideas of how we should raise children. I wanted a loving but independent bedtime routine so we can have couples time together. But my children love cuddles, and they would just cuddle. They just want to be snuggled and cuddled with forever. So one of the very first things I did was I created a very lovely bedtime routine where the girls got to have their own personal time with me. So the bedtime routine had things like, we read together, or rather they were picking up sounds, so we're doing phonics. So we read, they do their phonics, we pray, we read a Bible story, and then we cuddle. So we just hold on tight, calming music playing, and we just cuddle and focus on our breathing. Now, kicking them out of my room meant I would say, okay ladies, it's bedtime now. I think then it was maybe 7:30, 7:45, or 8 o'clock, depending on the day. We do the bedtime, we do the shower, we do the dinner, we've done everything, we go into bed. I cuddle them in their beds. No, then they were sharing a double bed. So that was also easier. So I would stay in their middle in a double bed and cuddle them both, and they would go to bed. Um, this is not a talk about how I established the bedtime, but I would like to say to you that were ups and downs, and I had to have very clever, innovative ways around doing that and empowering them and encouraging them. But one of the first things I did was kick them out of my room. Now, this is really good because looking at other single parents, I've noticed that they use their children as a crouch to walk on, which I think is unfair to the children, because when they now get into a relationship and they are then wanting to kick their children out of the bedroom, it can cause resentment for the new partner. So the children will feel like this new person has replaced us. We used to be with dad or mom, and now this person has replaced us. So that's one of my first tips: is do not use your children as your crouch. You need to own it, you need to deal with your emotions, and allow the children to grow up to be to be self-sufficient, flourishing young people who know that you are their safe space. Okay, so second tip I'm talking about, do the work, is about knowing who your tribe is and doing the work. So another thing I would say is, do not, well, this is just my personal tip. Do not jump from pillar to post. Do not jump from one relationship to another. I took time to heal and to go through all the grieving processes. So I spent a lot of time learning about myself, understanding what decisions got me to this point, and where do I want to go next. So I sat in my discomfort and I leaned into every single emotion I was going through. One key emotion I struggled with because of my nationality is shame. So as a Christian, I leaned into, what does God say to me about shame and how I am his child and his promises for me. So the second tip would be, lean into those emotions, get to know yourself, get to know who you are and what you are. Another tip I would say is, know yourself. So, because I leaned into my emotions and I knew myself, one thing I did not do was overcompensate. So, that is my third tip: do not overcompensate. I remember one Father's Day that I got very, very crossed because someone sent me a happy Father's Day to all the moms being fathers. And I'm like, no, I'm not their father. I am their mother. I am an excellent mom, meaning you can't see the cracks, but I'm not going to overcompensate. I've never ever tried to be both mom and dad. The space for the father or a father figure is still there. Now, luckily for me, the girls have real good father figures. My tribe is amazing. So they have uncles and I have nephews who, they see what it is to be a real man. They see what it is to be a loving man. They see what it is to not be in a toxic relationship. They see what it is to be loved and valued for who you are, not what you bring into the table. So one of the things I've never done is to overcompensate. I don't overcompensate. I don't, yeah, that's it. I don't overcompensate. I'm your mom and I'm going to do what I feel a mom should do. Which leads me to my next point, which is lying. Because I decided not to overcompensate, I do not have to lie to my children. No, I'm not lying. I don't do that. My faith does not encourage me to lie, so I've never done it and I'm not going to do it. So I do not lie to my children. I do discuss child appropriate information at the right ages. Please listen up. It does not mean you are going to be bad talking the other parents. No, that's not what lying is about. It's about upholding yourself with integrity and dignity and allowing room for learning, because this situation of my young people growing up in a single parent household has brought up so many learning opportunity that perhaps if they were in a double parent household, they would not have learned to that degree. I've had friends and colleagues saying to me, Elizabeth or Kitty, depending on which context I'm in, your children are amazing. And one person, actually not one, a few people have said to me, even us that were two parents, our children are not flourishing like yours. I mean, then I go to, please don't compare children. But I'm just saying that as an idea of why lying is a no-no. So I do not lie about, oh, your daddy sent you these flowers or your daddy bought you this gift. No. I'm not overcompensating, so I'm not lying. And I guess a final tip for me is to just embrace who you are. One of the most freeing things I heard recently was someone said to me, because I come from a culture where marriage, and this is an idiom, they put marriage on their head. And someone said that we've all just come to the reality that not every female or male in this world will get married. Not every female or male would be married and have children, and vice versa. And because there is diversity, we are not a monolith. Life happens. And that is so freeing, that allowed me to really enjoy single parenthood, because there are so many props that come with this. Number one, decision making. It is so easy for me to make a decision because I'm not going back and forth. But hey, that's another thing that comes with negotiation and being in a partnership. I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just saying single parenthood means I can make decisions very, very quickly. Another good thing about single parenthood was my finances. I was in charge of my finances and I knew what we were doing with our finances. So again, it was single-mindedness about where we want to be financially, which is to be financially independent and to flourish financially, and to make sure my children are financially literate. Another thing is education. I could single-handedly make decisions that would benefit my children about education. And I'm so proud to say that both my children are literally in what you would say the top third percentile in the whole of the UK in terms of academics. And my goal and my wish is for them to continue that all through university. I know this might sound very trivial, but closet space and bed space, I spread across the bed and I enjoy my sleep. No one kicking, no one pushing. I just really, and someone actually called me out on it. They go, "You're getting too comfortable sleeping in this king size bed by yourself." I'm like, yeah, I love it. Closet space, I have double the closet space. So going forward, I'm like, dude, you need your own room, my love. I love you, but I need my closet space and my bed space. And yeah, I think we all do. There are some downsides to single parenthood. Loneliness is real, but I think you could also be in a partnered relationship and still be lonely. So I wasn't really lonely being a single parent because, as I said, I had a very, very lovely tribe. There might be a downside to finances whereby two incomes are better than one, but to be candid, it's always been my income. So I didn't feel that. If anything, it was a positive for me because then I could control my income properly and really, get myself out of debt and really flourish. And I just love my children. I absolutely love my children, and we get on like three peas in a pod. And it's just been a fantastic decade. Me modeling what it means to be flourishing as a human being. Just to flourish and to be happy and to be grateful for God. So I hope this has been useful for you, and I'm sure Pat will be so glad that I have finally done her recording. Pat, I love you so much, and so sorry it took such a long time for me to make this recording, and I hope this is useful for your audience. Take care. Bye.